hello.
Nyaki, can I just talk to you for a second?
Talk to me.
Nyaki doesn't want to just talk to me. Just have a nice conversation about how you're
We
doing
have to
today.
greet
How's
the
the weather?
people.
How is it being a director, being someone's boss, having to shout at people?
This is not
Like,
what
how
the
does it
people are
feel to
here
be in a
for.
growing
This is
company?
not what people are here. You're wasting
That's
people's time.
exactly.
You wasting
That's exactly what
my
people are here for.
time.
They
No,
want
they
you
are
to
not here for that.
spill the tea
No.
on the
weather.
reality of
No.
hustle and heart. Like the fact your house, Nyaki, the weather is a real element for you in business. Because your house
I might move actually. This is the first year I was actually doing my
Maruru.
calculation. This is the first year since COVID, which is like 5 years, that we are not going away for winter. I am not okay, guys. Just
Not even a little bit.
send
Like
your
last
kind
year you
regards.
guys
Yeah,
had like
last year was just
a little getaway.
like a 3 weeks nyana. Not even like it's just send your kind regards because your emails are not going to be finding me well.
What's up, good people? Welcome to Hustle and Heart, the Star Tea Time podcast. We got a cup of teas. Evidence. Ka-ching. And we have actually been recording for some time.
Technical difficulties.
We've been setting up and fighting the devil himself and his gremlins.
Hence the new pod.
Just to get to this episode.
Hence the new pod mic. Because you heard in the previous thing the sound was so bad.
The new pod mic, my interesting dude, the door handle. We've been trying to avoid this door handle with everything in our spirit and our might, but at this point it's just like, guys, the most important thing is that the episode gets out.
At this point, just listen.
The most important
okay?
thing is that
we're not here for aesthetics. I mean, aesthetics are great and all of that, but for right now,
says you with the great aesthetics.
I mean, I hold myself to a higher standard, obviously. Like, you can have the door handle, but I'm not going to have a door handle. That's like influencers. That's what influencers like. No, guys, you don't need like a DSLR 17 Pro to shoot. You can just use your iPhone 5.
At that time,
iPhone
they have
Pro
like the top level.
cinematic,
They're busy
like
recording on a red.
16
Like,
anyway, yeah. So no, I obviously like. So my aesthetic background is, my choice. But you can totally shoot behind.
so you're not allowed to talk about you don't need.
But I told you I might move, right? Because it's so cold, right? So like the beauty of aesthetics, guys, that I shoot like in my house, obviously, but it's like all open plan, number one, and it's also all glass. And so the cold finds its way inside very, very quickly. And so we will.
It's glass and metal.
Yeah. It's just.
It's not even just glass. It's glass and metal.
And
guys.
old school, not sealed.
If you've ever slept anywhere that has metal, even Lizeng, guys. If you've been in a house, got Lizeng.
My house might as well be.
Nyaki does not have Lizeng.
I've got gaps in the doors and stuff. It's a very old house. It's like my house is literally born the same year I was born, so like 1989. It's like a 36-year-old house, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. That's not what we're here for, Kapano. We're here to stand on business, okay? We're here to spill the tea because this is a tea time podcast about things about the hustle and the things about the heart. So we've done the heart stuff. The heart stuff is that I am suffering in the temperatures, and I will be suffering, and I will continue to suffer because I don't get to go away this time of the year because time is not a luxury anymore in our lives. That's the reason, okay? And also, there's no money. Like, no, there is money. Money is always there. I'm not gonna lie. No, money is always there.
Is to grow up.
No. I rebuke that. Firstly,
is to grow up and realize. Is to grow up and realize that sometimes you might the good option is not to take the holiday.
No, that's never the good option. That's the worst thing. The worst thing is not to take the holiday.
Seriously, like and at the end of the day, sometimes it actually makes sense for you to just right now. Now might not be the time to take the holiday. You might have to take the holiday in like beautiful summer. And you're like, why would I leave South Africa in summer? But then you think to yourself, but I can't do 365 days in this country.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kabana. Nothing that you're saying makes sense, honestly. Absolutely nothing. Just leave everything because I'm going to freeze. But anyway, hustle and heart, right? The episode today is called You Don't Need a New Idea. You need to finish the one you started. Because we are tired of you guys with your new website. Relaunching, rebranding, new logo. I'll get started when I get started. I'll blow up after I finish my branding.
I'm gonna try this now.
I'm gonna do my CPIC, but I actually registered a different business 3 months ago. But actually, I'm gonna try this business now because I wasn't feeling that business.
It's always something new or newish, right? Nyaki, can I please tell you the most powerful thing? One of the most powerful things. Okay, the most powerful business lesson I learned from my mother-in-law. And it was when I had the tailoring business and she ordered a blazer, a church blazer. Like, genuinely, she was like, I need a blazer for church. And I want it to be navy blue. And she said, and I think I was in one of those phases of like, nah, I think I want to start a new business. Or, I was in the new idea phase. Literally, I was in the, new idea. Yeah, I was busy wrestling with a new idea, and I was just like, flying it past her, and trying to find out what she thinks. And she says, sometimes all you have to do is just stick around. That's it. That was a whole lesson.
Stick-with-it-ness.
That's all she said.
Yeah, we call it stick-with-it-ness.
Like, sometimes all you have to do is just stick around. And that hit me like a ton of bricks, because I was just like, ma'am, like, that wasn't even a long sentence.
It's the olden way.
And it's true.
Golden oldie way. Some people call it the stick. You have to have, as an entrepreneur, you have to have stick-with-it-ness. It's like the disease that you have. You just have to have stick-with-it-ness.
Gotta stick around. And sometimes it's like a lesson I learned in 7 Habits of Effective People is that you can see the same thing from a different angle. Like, what you guys see from this mic is different from what I see in this mic, but it's still the mic. And
or a spoon in my case.
I think a lot of the times we think we need a brand new mic. Like, we need a different mic. Like, just throw away the whole thing. We just need a new thing. Maybe I should try a purple mic. Maybe I should, and that's what we do with new ideas. We just okay, wait, actually, it's not the mic.
Shiny object syndrome.
That's what we do. Shiny object syndrome. This one has lost its luster. It's not as cute. It's not as pretty.
Okay, but in all fairness, you do need a new camera.
It could be something as small.
Your camera has lost its luster.
No. I'm talking about a business idea, Nyaki. Oscar segue.
Continue. But the segue is that you do need a new camera.
Because the landing here is for you, for example. Nyaki's she's got many perfectly good mics. She does not need a new mic. You know what she needs? An adapter. And then the sound is what? Crisp. Pristine. Nyaki literally has like the best quality mics that you can find in the game.
Because she has shiny object syndrome.
She does not need another mic. It's just shiny object syndrome. Because give Nyaki half a chance, she will go buy something new. Give Nyaki half a reason.
I got nobody to spend my money on, guys. And also, I got no vacation time right now. So, make me feel good. But anyway.
But that's the point. Like, this is what we're trying to say. It's like, for many of us, you've got the perfect idea. You don't need a new one. Yet, in the current circumstances you are in, you're just like, it doesn't work though. And it's like, nah, ma'am. It's not the business idea that's the problem. It's just a small adapter. It's just adapting. It's just a small a change of angle. Try a different plug. I mean, it happens with so many people. Like, for example, Nokia was failing, guys, when the turn of, the century and also the turn of the different types of phones. Nokia was thriving in the 90s. Yay! The big phones. The flip phone. Nokia was like, I got you. Snake. We were there. Then things changed, and it was like, okay, do we throw this whole thing away? And it's like the same company adapted. And it's just like, for many of us, we think to ourselves, okay, I'm not going to be a fitness instructor anymore. And actually, we've had a lot of these now discovery calls for Fast Track. People who say, I've got business A, but I'm not here in Fast Track for business A because I've got a new idea. And we're just like, but why?
Because you haven't finished the last one.
That business idea is actually dope. It's fire. You just need to stick with it and just find the adapter. It's just a small thing. You know, guys, if I could show you the thing that I'm using for my mic, it's that small.
It really is. I thought it was a big
thing. And
it's
literally the same thing with us and our businesses. Yeah, Nyaki thought it was like a whole...
I was going to go buy a whole
mixer,
thing. I was already looking for a mixer. I was like, ooh, maybe I should go... Sound card.
But that's what we do. We're so dramatic. We think we need like this dramatic thing. So like, it's a new idea. Or like, you know, I'm a fitness instructor for men. So you know what? I'm going to be a fitness instructor for children. And like, you want to change the whole concept because it needs to be shiny. It needs to be new. It needs to be... Actually, the solution to your problem is the same idea. Same thing you've been doing with just a tiny little adapter.
Yes, but I will say that a lot of the time the adapter isn't like, I mean, obviously we have to say like what the adapter is, and a lot of the time the adapter is structure, right? A lot of the time the adapter is systems. A lot of the time is that we don't actually have enough data to be able to call this thing dead or not. And so like you like, I think I said,
you haven't even tried it enough to even say that like, is this a fail? So you haven't given it a fair chance to fail.
So I remember in the podcast, in the first podcast that we did together when you were interviewing me, which is a great podcast, by the way, you guys should check it out. Kapano Sit Still. Is that the podcast that Kapano interviewed me, is that my fail point is R1 million. So I run a business to R1 million. I don't know why. That's just a number that I made up. Make R1 million and see if I enjoy this, if it's the right thing for me. That's the feedback loop that I get into, right? So after $1 million, is it a yay? Is it a nay? Because that for me, from my personal thing, is like the test, right? It's to say yes or no that's the conjuncture point. Because anything before that for me feels like shiny object syndrome. Right. And it's almost to say, like, as entrepreneurs, we need to get
you feel
to that point. We need to create what that conjuncture is and then only make the decision.
But Nyaki, can I have a question? So your underlying belief is that any business can make $1 million.
Yes, that is my underlying belief.
Or any business that you get into can make $1 million.
So the way that I rationalize it, Kapano, the way that I get to $1 million, and maybe people's numbers are different. So I'm 36 years old right now. I have a degree, a 4-year degree, 5-year degree, right? When I look at my peers and how much they earn, they're earning around up to 2 million rand, right? My peers.
1.1.
Like on the lower spectrum, 800,000. On the higher spectrum, maybe 2 million rand. So if I was still in my job, a normal job, at this point in my life, with the skill set that I have, I would be earning on the lower end 1.2 million rand. If I can't, in my business, generate 1.2 million rand for me, then I might as well work, right? So that's my limit, is to say like I don't want to say like my value is 1 million, but like my inherent value is 1 million.
No, but it's true. It's true though. It's true though. Like based on your competency and comparatively, right? There's someone else, because you do this all the time. Like we've done it before. It's like, okay, so why don't you just go back to your job, right? Like when somebody has a business idea and we look at the business potential, because there are businesses that have extremely limited business potential. Like it is very obvious that it's got very limited. Like for example, selling ice in Antarctica has got a very limited business potential because there's only so few people who want to buy ice as opposed to getting their own, right? There are businesses that have very clear ceilings, right? So for example, I make handmade shoes.
Yes.
I can only make so many handmade shoes. I only have so much
Or I'm a
time to
painter.
make handmade shoes. So if I can only make 25, I can only make 25. It's a very clear limit. There's a very clear ceiling. So if your business potential is below what you could earn as a salary at your level. So for somebody right now, they're just like, my current earning potential, what I know right now, if I go work out in the workplace with my experience in the type of job I'm in, I could only earn right about now, I'd be earning about 25K. If your business can't give you 25K and it's got this clear ceiling that, listen, those handmade shoes aren't going to make you 25K.
Don't quit your job.
Unless you get into the like handmade Swarovski crystal shoes, right? And you are able to sell them at a certain level and you have access to market, then go back to work. If you cannot make your business give you what you would earn in a salary, go back. And it's the potential, right? Because yes, maybe right now the business is not giving you that much. But if it can, stay. If it can't, humble.
Well, humble will find shiny object, but find what that point is, right? So go to that threshold. So if you think that your business has a 50,000 Rand per month capacity and you quit at 20,000 per month, have you really like given it all? Have you given it all your all?
Have you even tried?
So anyway, that's not the point. The point here is to say, like, we have shiny object syndrome. We lack structure in our businesses, and we don't create feedback loops. So because we don't have structure, we don't create feedback loops, right? And the feedback loop says, am I working hard enough to reach this milestone? If yes, like, can I work harder or can I put more input? Or am I not reaching the milestone? If not, what do I need to do to reach that milestone?
Can I say, I feel like as a person who actually did study business, and also like, knowing people who have studied masters in business, I get angry that systems are not taught as a basic principle of business. I don't know if this makes sense. Because so how business is taught would be departmentalization, would be like the functions of different parts of the business. And those things are supposed to work together. But a system is not a gear and like a belt and a key and a screw put in a row. Those things are put together and then turned. That's what makes it into a system. So in business school, whether you study it in high school, like a junior degree or a postgraduate degree, they teach you about the components of a system, but they don't teach you about the systemization. It's engineers who learn systems, to be honest with you. I'll tell you that right now. The people who actually understand what systems are engineers. Business people understand the parts of a business. But do you get what I mean? Like, it frustrates me because what ends up happening is we have a lot of people who don't understand that the foundation of a business is actually your systems. Like, if you do not have structure and systems, you can have all the components and no systems. You can have all the components of a system and no system. And this is why we tell people, you have a funnel. Whether you like it or not, is there. It's just that you have not been intentional in building it.
And so like the system,
structuring it in
the way that, so maybe because people are like, I don't know what, I need a system, but like effectively what is a system? But a system is is a combination of different processes broken down, right? And linked together. So different processes together make a system. And so if you don't understand the processes, the step by step, so in project management, it's called the work breakdown structure. But a work breakdown structure is basically a hierarchy of everything that you need to do in order to achieve this specific thing, right? And broken down into small, manageable, deliverable, actionable tasks.
Exactly.
And tasks are time bound, right? They are cost bound. They are quality bound, right? So how do you know when this thing is complete? The process is complete. You can check boxes. It's not just like a pie in the sky, like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, right? If you want to become a YouTuber, there are certain tasks that you need in order to complete to get this goal of having a YouTube channel or to being a YouTuber, right? You want to be Insta YouTube famous. Every day you need to research. Every day you need to film. Every day you need to make sure that you've got certain clothes. Every day you need to make sure, like, there's certain processes that you need to take in order to do that. And so that's the part where people don't actually think about their business. Like, okay, when I wake up today, when I wake up today in my business, what am I doing as far as sales goes? Because that's a system that you need to, like, what's the selling system, right? What is the marketing system? What is the onboarding system, right? What is the customer service system? What is the payment system, right? How do I issue invoices? How do I onboard clients? What's my team system, right? How do I delegate tasks within my team? How do I, like, so those processes, and it's like, it's a little bit mundane, but that's the part of businesses that's the whole thing of how you run a business.
And work. Do you know, people don't understand that success is boring, guys. Hey, success is so boring.
Every day, the same thing. Every day, the same thing. You don't even feel like you're winning. You're just like, oh, more things. More emails.
You're just like, you literally don't feel like you're moving. But like we have like a productivity system that we use, which is basically the main thing that we can show for it, a scroll, right? Which basically is, we take big tasks, we break them down into small tasks, we give deadlines, and then we know that as long as, so for example, when a new client comes in, we know that, okay, fine, this client is coming in for a build. We know that for a build, we have these 3 pages, these 7 email things, and then we have integrations. And that's the most interesting part. That's the most interesting part of the whole conversation. After that, it's just like, has this been done? 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 And then miraculously at the end, guess what?
It's done. And then the
project is done. Yeah. Like, the client is served. We get paid at the end. You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing that people don't understand. And this is even the most studied business administrator struggles to understand, that the key words that Nyaki was saying in terms of what a system is the fact that they are linked. It's a process, meaning step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Formula. It's formulaic, extremely formulaic. And then they are linked. So a lot of people will know that I have to do marketing. I have to sell. I have to send an invoice. I have to do that, right? And when we say that you have a business idea and it's not working and you need structure is saying, how are they linked and what's the process?
What are the step-by-step
And that's
things?
fundamentally what a lot of people are missing in their, right? That's fundamentally what a lot of people are missing in their businesses is, do you have a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 equals sales, right? And how are they linked? Like, if you don't have that in your business, then you have zero structure. You can have marketing, you can have sales, and it can all be you, by the way, also. All of those functions can be you. It's the same as the YouTube example. You can have a YouTube channel, you can have videos, you can have a camera, you can have a mic, you can have makeup, you can have clothing. But unless you know in what order those things need to happen, and Wi-Fi, unless you know in what order those things are supposed to happen and how they are linked, you will never be a successful YouTuber, because you have all the components and none of the processes to make it a success. So if you have an idea and it's not working to yourself, ask yourself, like, what structure do I have? What systems do I have in place to make this thing work? And a lot of people say, don't know. I don't have.
Okay.
So what do I do when I get to that point?
Join Club She Is. Just join Club She Is, guys. Tea time is over now. If you want to learn how to build strict structures and systems in your business, join the club. We actually map them out for you week by week. This is what you do this week. This is what you're going to do next week. This is what you're going to do in 3 weeks' time, so that you can actually win. If you want more information about that, you will find the details below. But chat with us in the box, down in the comments. I'm a YouTuber now. Chat with us in the YouTube comments downstairs there and say, how many business ideas do you have currently in your mind? Guys, ideas don't finish. Even the Bible says that, okay? Ideas do not finish. You can wake up every day with an idea. The thing sets you apart, the people who win are the ones who implement. So, are you an idea man or you're an implementation person? If you want a business partner, find a person who implements. Don't partner with someone who's got ideas, guys. You will find yourself in a hellish relationship. Let me tell you right now. Ideas
You guys are going to be forever productive in meetings talking about what to do.
Yo, guys, just implementation. Okay, that's it from us. We do love you. We appreciate you guys. Catch you on the other side of the internet or somewhere else.